Hi, welcome back everyone. I just wanted to do a final epilogue to the series. Wanted to answer some of your questions and give you a few little thoughts on this game. It's the game I've done the most videos of, and the game that really taught me just what hobby board gaming can be about and what solo board gaming can be about. This is an epic game, and it's very hard to beat. It's a game I will keep coming back to, and I hope I enjoy this for many years to come. And yes, a lot of this game has inspired my own design, Renegade, published by Victory Point Games. It's this puzzle element. I mean, you've watched me play and you've seen how the multi-use cards, the multiple solutions, can really get you thinking. In fact, back in December last year, edition of Tabletop Gaming here in the UK has an article. This is a really good mag, you should check it out. In here I wrote a piece on, let's see, here we are, on my favourite game, Mage Knight. A game of choices, each choice a destination and each destination a fingertip out of reach. And yeah, we kind of were scratching at that victory at the end. In fact, I did a little better than I thought, because even at the end here I did make a little mistake. I had a level up which I forgot until right at the end, which gave me an extra card as it goes. My hand size increased from 6 to 7, which meant I should have pulled Steady Tempo. Remember this one? It says at the end of your turn, instead of putting this card in your discard pile, you place it at the bottom of your deep deck, as long as it's not empty. So I could have pulled this card, which meant I could have used this instead of my spell sideways, and I could have used my spell to stop the enemy attacking, saving me that wound. That would have just tipped me over 151 points, so actually slightly better. So even though it's my favourite game, which I guess is a little trite because different games for different occasions, I've been playing a lot of Cloudspire lately. In fact, someone pointed out, Matt, thank you for your comment, I referred to mana as source at different times. So Cloudspire is a game that I've been really enjoying recently. Obviously, my number one solo game some years ago was Hoplomachus. It's a game that also has a very thinky feel. The game that got me into gaming as a kid was chess, and Hoplomachus has that chess-like feel and has all that analytical, forward-thinking crunchiness, and it's just so easy to get to the table. Wonderful components. Mage Knight is a bit more epic, a bit more of a challenge to get to the table, so probably the downside on Mage Knight is not having the opportunity to play it so much because of, you know, the setup and the length of play, and I've got to clear all this away now. And the opportunity to make the odd mistake here and there. But here's some advice I can give on playing these games. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. I'm playing this under the spotlight of a camera. Every little mistake is under a microscope. But when you play your games, you're going to make mistakes and move on with that without being aware of them, and that's okay. Playing games is about having fun. It's not meant to be difficult. It's not meant to be a chore. So don't get hung up on them. Another question that came out was my shapeshift skill. Why didn't I just use that with my Shield of the Fallen Kings and turn the block into attack? It's these little things that you need to look out for when you're playing the game. This skill only works with basic cards, so you have to refer to every character has a little reference sheet. Now when I play, obviously playing solo, you want to pull out the reference card for your character you're playing, so Bravelar, but also the dummy player that you're playing. And that's an important choice, and an important thing about which character you play, because each character you play in solo has kind of like a secondary skill. But here you go, here's Shapeshift. It says once a turn, one basic action card. Okay, so your basic action cards, they're the ones with this little icon in the top right corner, right? Your character icon. But these secondary skills, the skill set you use for dummy, will alter the flavour of your solo game. So I've used Goldix here. Goldix has a lot of simple mana generating skills. If we look at Goldix, he's blue-green. So Bravelar is like Goldix, blue-green. But I tend to choose just thematically, just go with the story. Because this is another thing about Mage Knight. There is a story to be told, and just go with it and invest in that story. You know, it doesn't have to be a dry, clunky, mechanical experience. Experience the game, experience the story. The other thing is use the land, look at the landscape. I like to keep lots of crystals. So look at those mines, look at those glades. This is the way you open up powerful cards, like we saw me use Regeneration. What a card. So this one will let you ready a level 1, 2, or if you've got green mana, 3 units. Ready a unit. Just think of the versatility. You've got how many units? 3 or 4 units at the end, and being able to ready one of them. We had the Ultimate Mages as a level 4, so not that one, but any one of these gives you so much versatility as you play. And use those units, think about those units. I tend to play really aggressively, so I'm looking for units with, when you saw attack, attack, attack. Ultimate Mages, I didn't really get the most of it because I didn't get any black mana come up, but if black mana had come up, it might have really changed how I played. Particularly when I was trying to take out that dragon across that lake. Where can you get black mana? Here at these magical glades. That's probably the most frustrating part of Mage Knight, is having these really powerful spells and then not being able to play them because you can't get black mana. But one of the things I could have done if I'd had more time was not be playing out here on the fringes, moved back to this glade and revealed the city here. I mean, think about this. If the city was here, I could have had the black mana I wanted to take that dragon. Yeah, I might have come this way. And another tactic you saw, I didn't do this, I think I did this in one of my previous playthroughs, but monasteries, if you burn them, keep your reference cards handy as well, because they'll remind you of the little rules. But burning a monastery is reputation -3, a great way to get artifacts. That big shield I had, I didn't end up using it, but it was a great safety net to have at the end. If I hadn't had the white mana and couldn't spend whirlwinds, well, this shield would have done all I needed. So yeah, when you play, you don't need the rulebook, but if you've got these reference cards handy, keep them handy. They'll remind you of the little rules, because there are lots of little rules to remember, like for example the Draconum as opposed to the Marauding Orcs. Marauding Orcs gives you reputation +1, just remembering that a Draconum is +2. Just little things like that, they give you a little insight. So every time you encounter something new, just have a quick flash at your cards and get a little reminder about what they do when you reveal them, what they do once you've conquered it, and so on. Okay. So do you remember, for example, at a monastery for 2 influence you can heal? So when you're exploring the land, thinking about where to place your next tile, it's another dimension that Mage Knight brings you. So it's this little, there are little fiddly complications in Mage Knight, and that is a barrier for some people. But that's what games that you keep coming back to are like, because you don't burn out on them quickly. This is not a reviewer-friendly game. Same as the game I made, Renegade. It's not a reviewer-friendly game. You can't just play this once, play it twice, have a good handle on the rules. You've got to learn and develop your knowledge of the game. You've got to invest in the game. Not everybody in the hobby market has lots of money to go and buy 100 games. You may just have 1 game. You may just have 2 or 3 games. Make Mage Knight one of those games, because this will last. This is a game you can play and play and play. And if it takes you 10 plays to learn it, that's fine, because it's the only game you've got. Yeah? If you've got 100 games and you only want to play them once or twice, don't play Mage Knight. If you want to play Mage Knight with your group, everyone has to understand this is a game you invest in. And this is why it's a game I enjoy playing solo. And there's much better games to share in a group. Games that have you laughing and joking and For me, that's better for a multiplayer social experience. This is a puzzle to be sat down and mused over as an escape for me, instead of watching a movie or reading a book. This is the epitome of solo gaming for me. Some more questions. People have asked, is this the Ultimate Edition? No, it's the original edition with just all the expansions thrown in the box. Toss the insert away and just throw everything in the box. I put all the cards in little baggies. I look after my games if I can. I'm not the tidiest of players. But, and this is another question people have asked, where do you get your storage boxes? So for all the pieces, this is how I keep it all stored, the miniatures in here. And this fits right back in the box. Yeah, with all the cards on the side, this fits nicely in here. I think in the US they call these Plano boxes. This is Wham box. You can get these from the plastic box shop.co.uk. This is whamproduct.co.uk. You can get these from Hobbycraft or Homebase in the UK, places like that. Head to the art sections, the craft sections, and you'll find them there. And then lastly, I think I'll just do a shout out to Liz Davidson. If you've not subscribed, she's part of the Dice Tower Network. The channel is called Beyond Solitaire. I'll leave a link below in the description to go jump over to her channel, because Liz is running right now a series of Mage Knight videos that looks at different elements of the game in detail and teaches you the game. Liz does a great job. Liz is the banner bearer for solo gaming on the Dice Tower Network. So go check out Liz if you haven't already. I'm sure you already have. And all her other solo videos. She's opened with a playthrough of First Recon, which is the tutorial, which you only need to play once. Really, you only need solo conquest. The variability in just that solo conquest alone is enough to showcase all aspects of the game. And then she leads off her more detailed videos with which version should I get, the original or the ultimate. So there we go. That wraps up my Mage Knight series. Thank you for all your questions, for all the feedback, for helping me when I've made little slip-ups during the series. And I'm sure we'll see Mage Knight again in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.